What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel, and today what I got here is the Hobbymate's Comet Vx220. Once again, it is the 220mm 5-inch FPV racer. Now, I have already done a review on this quadcopter once before and did a little FPV escape video as well. Now, it came out of the box at that time with some 2305 2500 kV motors, and I've flown it with some 4S battery. Now, this quadcopter is also available to purchase with some 1800 kV motors, which I have already installed on this quadcopter. So I took out the original 2500 kV motors and replaced them with these 1800 kV motors, and here are the 2500 kV motors, and this is the box that the 1800 kV motors came in. I just put the 2500 kV motors back in here. So these are the motors that it was originally on the quadcopter, which I have replaced with the 1800 kV motors, and it came inside of this nice packaged box just like this. And here's some extra screws, the motor screws, and there was also a foam on the top as well, and very nicely packaged motors. It came just like this. So right now, for a limited time, if you get 4 of these motors, either the 1800 kV or the 2500 kV motors, they will provide you at no extra charge this 220mm carbon fiber frame that I have here. So if you already have these electronics readily available, then you can either get the 2500 kV motors, 4 of those, or these 1800 kV motors, and you will get this frame for free. All right, so today what I'm going to do is test out this quadcopter with some 1800 kV motors with some various different types of props, or a couple of different types of props, and one of them are the Dal Cyclone 5040 props, which I have already on the quadcopter here, and I'll be also checking them out with some Gemfan flash 5149 tri-bladed props, and this is the Dal Cyclone 5040 props there. And I'll be checking them out with some different size batteries as well, and different voltage batteries as well. And here are some of the batteries that I'll be testing it out with. All of them are China Hobby line batteries. I got some 1300 milliamp packs in the white and the 1000 milliamp pack in the orange. These are the new Mini Star 6S 100C batteries, and these are all 100C rated batteries as well. Now the 4S comes in at 175 grams, and the 5S comes in at 224 grams, and this behemoth size 6S comes in at a 257 grams, and this 1000 milliamp comes in at 185 grams. Now, because I'll be running it with the 3 different types of voltages, there's going to be 3 different RPM output from the motor. So on the 4S, if I multiply the 14.8 volt by the kV of the motors, which is 1800 kV, I will come out with 30,240 RPM that will be outputted when I use this battery. Now, originally on the 2500 kV motors, when I used this 4S battery, I was getting 42,000 RPM. So that's a big difference of output of the RPM on the quadcopter because of the motor change. Now the 5S comes in at 21 volts. So if you multiply that by 1800 kV, we'll get a 37,800 RPM is the output when I use the 5S. And when I use the 6S, it is a 25.2 volt multiplied with 1800 kV. It'll come out to 45,360 RPM. So this one will provide us with more RPM than any other ones. And I got the 1000 milliamp battery. So I'm going to test out the flight times and the power efficiency and all that with these packs here on the Hobbymate Comet Vx220, the 220mm 5-inch FPV racer. So let's go out to the field and check it out. All right, here we go with our first line of sight testing with the 1800 kV motors. So let's go ahead and check it out. We got the 4S 1300 milliamp 100C CNHL battery to test out first. So let's go ahead and check it out. I know it's going to be a little bit lackluster, but let's go ahead and check it out anyway to see how it feels like on a 4S. Okay, transmitter is on. Go ahead and power this baby up. All right, let's check it out. Okay, right off the bat, I can tell that I need to throttle up a lot more to get going here. Yeah, supposed to get a little bit windy today, so gotta knock it out early, and we have a chance of rain as well. Okay, so you are able to fly this thing with a 4S. It isn't that bad. You just gotta throttle up a lot, because the overall RPM is right around what, the 30,000 RPM range with the 4S with the 1800 kV motors. Let's go ahead and see if I can do some flips. Oh yeah, you got to throttle up a little bit more than what you are used to coming down from the flip, but you can still do some flips and stuff. Nice. All right. It's probably going to be sucking the battery a lot faster. So let's bring it in and do a little punch out here. So the 4S 1800 kV punch out. There you go. That's a full-on punch out, which isn't that bad. I mean, it's perfectly flyable with this 4S battery here. Do one more punch out. Yeah, it ain't that bad. It's kind of like I'm flying it with a 3S battery on a normal quad with the higher kV motors. Let's go ahead and bring it in for a landing. There we go. All right, here we go with our first FPV flight with the 1800 kV motors. I have another 4S CNHL 100C battery on it, so let's go ahead and check it out just to see how it feels, FPV. Yes, I do have to throttle up a little bit more than what I'm used to here. Yeah, but you can fly this thing with the 4S. So you can order this quad with the 2500 kV motors or this 1800 kV motors. So it is all up to you what you prefer, because you can fly this thing with the 4S. But the other one, you can't really fly it with a 5 or a 6S. The motor is not capable of handling it. So kind of feels like I'm flying a 4S quad with a 3S battery. That's what exactly how it feels like. All right. Just want to test out the flight time as well. Yeah, you got enough power to do stuff. As I recall, when I flown this quadcopter with the 2500 kV motors, with the same battery that I'm flying it with right now, I got up to 5 minutes of flight time. So as you can see, the battery is running low already a little bit. We are at 15 and we've been flying for about 2 minutes. This is not bad, actually. You can do some practice with this. Okay, 2 minute 25, and we're still going pretty good actually. 14.8. I was expecting the battery life to end pretty quickly here.
20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Okay.
5, 4.
We are actually going to get a little bit more than 3 minutes of flight time. So if you want to try some 6S, this is the way to go here. But if you are not really interested in 6S, we'll see how much power we get out of the 6S, because the total RPM would be 40 something. I think it was 44,000 or 45,000 RPM versus this 30,000 RPM. Okay, so the battery is low. We are gonna have to land. So we got about 3.5 minutes or so of flight time. Okay, let's bring it in for landing. All right, our first FPV flight with a 4S battery on the 1800 kV motors. All right, here we go with our second line of sight testing with a different size battery. We got the 5S, a 1300 milliamp CNHL 100C battery. So let's check this out. I only have one of these batteries, so I'm gonna do a little quick line of sight testing and then put on my goggles and finish it off with FPV. Okay, we got a little bit better power here. I can feel, yeah, a lot more power with the 5S. So we're at what, 37,000 RPM now. So you multiply the kV of the motors to the voltage of the battery. All right, let's do a little punch out with the 5S. Yeah, as you can see, we got a lot more power with the 5S. So this quadcopter is a pretty decent quadcopter that can handle 4, 5, and 6S with this 1800 kV motors. One more punch out. Yeah. Not bad at all. So let's go ahead and bring it in and slap on the goggles and check it out, FPV. There we go. Okay, what I'm going to do is get into my profiles here, and I'm going to actually change the profile to profile 2. And here are the lower down PIDs, so I can run a 5S, just a slightly lower than the 4S PIDs. Which was these PIDs right here. These are my 4S PIDs. So I just lowered it down, and I haven't tested it out. So I'm just going to test it out for the first time right now. So let's go for our FPV flight with a 5S battery with the lowered down PIDs. All right. 10,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so I still got enough battery life to fly around after that line of sight testing, and we've been flying for a little over 1 minute probably. It took me a little while to change over here. Oh yeah, but the battery is going down pretty fast. Man, I think what I would do is I would get the quadcopter with the 1800 kV motor, so you can fly it with all 3 size batteries. if you want to check it out like that. Because this is not bad with the 5S as well. Not as much power, but you are able to fly around and do maneuvers. So you don't get that much flight time, of course. And we're seeing that we're not going to get a lot of flight time with this one here. Perhaps a little bit over 3 minutes. Just about the same as with the 4S. Yeah. Man, this quadcopter is just so nice. So smooth. And we are running the 50-40 tries Dal props on all of the testing today. Okay, we're gonna have to bring it in. We are getting down. I'm not getting a battery warning yet, but it is right around the time that I should be bringing it in. Right around 18.5 is what I like to bring it in. All right, so there we go. We got almost a good 3.5 minutes, almost 4 minutes, just about the same amount of flight time as the 4S battery here. Minus that little segment that I had to change over to the goggles. All right, so that is our second test flight with the 5S battery on this 1800 kV motors. Let's go on to the 6S. All right, here we go with our third line of sight testing, and we have the 6S 1300 milliamp CNHL 100C battery here. So let's check it out. There we go. Oh yeah, now I can feel a lot more power with the 6S. I can be cruising at about right around 50% of my throttle here. I do have a couple of 6S batteries. Whoa. Oh yeah. Sounds different too, doesn't it? So, but we'll do the testing with this behemoth size 1300 milliamp battery here. Let's do a little punch out with the 6S. Holy shit. It actually took a little turn as it was going up. Wow. So maybe I need to raise the eye gain here. Holy cow. That's 6S power for you with the 1800 kV motor. So let's go ahead and bring it in because I want to do the Fpv flight with this battery as well. There we go. All right, here we go with our FPV testing with the 6S battery, and here is the PIDs that I have created for the 6S. Slightly lower PIDs than the 5S PIDs. Just out of the blues, I just set that up without really testing it out. I just lowered it down, so we'll see how it works out. So far, it is looking pretty good. So let's go for a FPV test flight with the 6S. All right. The VTX was flickering a little bit. Still kind of flickering a little bit. Let's cool it off.
20 seconds.
All right, so we've been flying a little over 1 minute, just like the 5S battery on our line of sight testing. And so far,
10, 9,
it is feeling
8,
good.
7,
I'm at a throttle of about 50,
4,
55%.
2, 1. Timer when elapsed.
Okay, let's reset the timer here. Oh, she is a screamer. Wow. Let me do a little speed run. feels pretty good. There's a little bit of prop wash though. I have to tune the quad a little bit better. Feels really nice. So you are able to do all kinds of stuff with the 6S. It has tons of power. Okay, we are getting down there. Okay, 22.2. I should be bringing it in right around 22.5. I went a lot lower than I wanted to, but we are getting right around almost the same amount of flight time. With a bit of punching, you can squeeze out a little bit more.
1 minute.
So there's the 6S power for you on this quadcopter with the 1800 kV motor. So I should be bringing it in because it is getting down there. So we're squeezing out right around almost 4 minutes of flight time as well. Alright, there we go. Our first testing with a 6S battery on these 1800 kV motors. Alright, here we go with yet another FPV Flight, and this time around I've recharged up that 1300 milliamp 6S battery, and I'm sporting some Gemfan Flash 5149 tri-bladed props, and I've increased the I value by 3 points as well as the D value by 3 points as well. So let's go and check it out with some Gemfan 5149 tri-bladed props. We should have a lot more bite. You can tell right off the bat on takeoff this thing has a lot more power already. There's a little bit of wind blowing. Yeah, these props are drawing up a lot more power. That's what it feels like. My OSD flickers every time I try to punch it here. Lots of power though. So, it is safe to say, if you want to fly 6S, 5S, and 4S, yeah, get this one with the 1800 milliamp motors, 1800 kV motor, sorry. And remember, if you buy 4 of these motors, you will get this frame for free for a limited time, which is about $49 worth of savings. And these motors are only around $19 as well. So you might go that route if you already have some electronics, but if you don't, then you know, just get the whole setup. You can get the do-it-yourself setup for about $179, and the bind and fly version for about $210. with the FR Sky XM receiver, which I am running right now. I'll check it out. We are right down to where we need to land, and we are not getting that 3 minutes. 22.2 is just about what you want to land it. So each of the cells are at about 3.7, but you could actually push it for a little bit longer and get it down to right around 3.5. Yeah, so these props will draw more power. Slightly bigger props with bigger pitch. So I'm squeezing out about slightly over 3 minutes on the 1300 milliamp 6S battery. I think I forgot to put my landing pad there. Alright, so that is our flight with the 6S 1300 milliamp battery with the 1800 kV motors with the Gemfan Flash 5149 tri-bladed props. Alright, here we go. I think this will be the final test flight. This time I've changed back to the 5040 Dal props, and I got the 1000 milliamp 6S battery. So let's go ahead and check that out. I'm still running the same PIDs as before. Yeah, these props are more smoother, definitely, because they're lower pitch and they are 5" instead of 5.1 inch. Kind of liking these props better. Better for freestyle anyways. So you want to check this one out, you can get it with the do-it-yourself kit like I said earlier, or PNP version, put your own receiver.
9, 8.
And you can get the FR Sky XM Plus or the RXSR receiver version as well. And once again, don't forget, if you get 4 motors, whichever one, the 2500 kV motors or the 1800 kV motors, you will get this frame for free, which is just an awesome bargain right there. I would jump on that if you already have electronics, but if you don't, go with the already built models or the do-it-yourself kit. I'll leave all the links down below in the video description. Check it out for yourself. This is just an awesome quadcopter. Very, very smooth, lots of power, whichever way you decide to go. Just simply a contender with all of the other bind and fly versions coming out that are just awesome flyers, like the Emax Hawk 5 and also the Helifar Futon 2, which is just an awesome quadcopter as well. Very nicely built. Check out the power you get with this 6S battery, just awesome. So we're not going to get a whole lot of flight time even with the 1000 milliamp battery, and with the 5040 props we are looking at somewhere around the 3-minute range here. We are already down to the 22.3 volts. So I'm going to go ahead and slowly bring it in for a landing. So with the 1000 milliamp 6S battery, we are getting slightly less than 3 minutes. Alright guys, so that is it for now for my test flight with the Hobbymate 5-inch Comet Vx220 with the 1800 kV motors. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time. I think I put up my landing pad this time. There we go.